What do you think is the best-selling medication in our pharmacies? It's Citramon. What is there to be surprised about? You may ask, this is an effective remedy for headaches, and not just that. That is why it is often found in first aid kits among essential supplies. Nevertheless, it is important to remember that the properties of Citramon are not limited to those specified in the instructions. Today we will talk about all its possible applications, including some non-medical ones. And in the end, you will learn how to minimize potential harm when treating with this medication. Citramon belongs to the class of pain relievers and antipyretics. This is a combination drug that includes a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory, a psychostimulant, and a non-narcotic analgesic. Thanks to this, it can be used even by teenagers. The main components of Citramon are acetyl salicylic acid, paracetamol, and caffeine. Acetyl salicylic acid is one of the most common anti-inflammatory and fever-reducing agents. It reduces pain sensations, prevents platelet aggregation and thrombus formation, thereby improving blood circulation. Paracetamol affects the thermoregulation system, helping to reduce temperature and relieve pain, although its anti-inflammatory effect is less pronounced compared to aspirin. Caffeine, in the composition of Citramon, enhances spinal cord excitability and improves blood circulation. At the same time, its influence on vascular tone is quite pronounced, while the effect on the nervous system remains moderate. When should Citramon be used? Please stay with us until the end. It will be very interesting and informative. It is also worth noting that many viewers watch our content without a subscription. If you appreciate our team's work, please subscribe and don't forget to hit the bell. We thank you in advance and wish you a pleasant viewing. According to the instructions, this medication is intended to relieve pain of various origins. First of all, it is effective for headaches, especially during migraines. A migraine is understood as a pulsating pain localized in one area of the head. But Citramon is also used to treat joint pain associated with inflammatory processes, gout, arthritis, and mechanical joint injuries. Unlike other pain relievers, Citramon provides a simple and powerful effect due to the synergy of aspirin and paracetamol in its composition. However, to treat joint pain, doctors recommend using non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs as they are more effective for this type of pain. Additionally, Citramon can reduce body temperature due to the paracetamol in its composition. However, it should be remembered that paracetamol can be prescribed to adults and children over 12 years old if their weight is at least 49 kilograms. This requirement applies to Citramon as well, and its importance in reducing the risk of complications. The third use of Citramon is to raise blood pressure. People with low blood pressure use this medication when their pressure drops and their condition worsens. How does this happen? Due to the presence of the acetyl group, aspirin, and thus Citramon containing it, can block cyclooxygenase proteins in our body's cells. When the level of these proteins increases in the cells, the body activates the immune response, leading to inflammatory processes. By blocking these enzymes, Citramon reduces the immune response and lowers inflammation. This calming effect also influences blood viscosity, which is why aspirin is prescribed in small doses for thinning it. Citramon has a similar effect, but it is important to understand that it should not be used as a means for permanent blood thinning, as it is taken for symptomatic purposes for a short period. To maintain normal blood thickness, it is recommended to take pure aspirin in small doses. Everything mentioned above pertains to the official medical use of Citramon. Folk healers have found many additional ways to use this remedy. Moreover, it has found application in cosmetics and everyday life. Stay with us, and we will tell you about many useful aspects of using Citramon. The unexpected properties of Citramon, due to its high content of acetyl salicylic acid, make it an effective cosmetic agent with a complex action. In particular, it helps fight acne and pimples, smooths wrinkles, and rejuvenates the skin. It also strengthens nails and hair and helps get rid of calluses and corns. To do this, you need to dissolve 5 tablets of Citramon in half a liter of warm water, add a teaspoon of honey, and 3 drops of retinol or tocopherol. It is important to mix all the ingredients thoroughly until a homogeneous mass is obtained. The resulting paste is applied to a clean face or other areas of the skin for 5 minutes, after which it is washed off with water. To combat dandruff, this mixture can be used to wash the hair like shampoo. The applied mixture should be left for a few minutes before rinsing off. The second unusual use of Citramon is as a cleaning agent. It effectively dissolves clogs in pipes, removes lime and other stains from sinks and clothing, and helps eliminate oxide film from metal parts before soldering. To do this, it is necessary to dissolve several tablets in water until a thick paste is obtained and use it for soaking stains on clothes or as a cleaning agent for sinks and dishes. Citramon is not only in the medicine cabinet, but also in the garden. This medication is known to many as an effective remedy for headaches, fever, and other common ailments. However, few are aware of its unusual yet very useful applications beyond medicine. For example, Citramon can be a real find for gardeners and houseplant lovers. Dissolving just one Citramon tablet in 20 liters of water can yield a wonderful solution for watering weakened and old flowering plants. This fertilizer becomes a kind of second chance for wilting flowers, helping to activate their life processes, promoting longer blooming and recovery after various stressful situations, such as transplanting or adverse conditions. Moreover, Citramon effectively combats pests. Half a tablet, dissolved in 1 liter of water, proves to be an effective remedy against the fungus gnat, a small but very annoying pest that often appears in houseplants and hinders their normal development. Such a simple solution can be used for both soil spraying and surface watering. It is important to remember that Citramon is a medicinal drug with contraindications, despite its wide availability and use. Citramon is not a harmless vitamin. Like any medication, it has limitations and side effects that one should be aware of. First of all, Citramon is strictly contraindicated for pregnant women and children under 12 years old. The components of the medication can negatively affect fetal development and cause adverse reactions in the child. Another important aspect is dosage. Citramon should be taken in the smallest possible amounts and for short courses. Doctors recommend limiting intake to 7 to 10 consecutive days. Prolonged or excessive use can lead to serious complications. People with blood clotting disorders and gastric ulcer diseases should be especially cautious. Due to the presence of acetylsalicylic acid, which is the main component of Citramon, it thins the blood and can provoke internal bleeding, especially if there are ulcers in the stomach or duodenum. Taking Citramon can also irritate the gastric mucosa. Therefore, if a long-term intake is required, doctors recommend protecting the stomach with medications such as omeprazole or pantoprazole. Without such protection, there is a risk of developing gastritis, and in severe cases, even ulcer disease. The fourth important contraindication is cardiovascular diseases, especially hypertension. Citramon may raise blood pressure, posing a danger to people prone to hypertensive crises, heart attacks, or strokes. Therefore, in the presence of heart problems, his intake must be strictly coordinated with a doctor. And, of course, as with most potent medications, combining Citramon with alcohol is categorically not recommended. This can significantly enhance side effects and lead to unpredictable health consequences. How do you use Citramon? Share the situations in which it has helped you. Do you use it solely as a painkiller, or have you found unusual ways to use it, for example, in household chores or plant care? Your experience could be helpful to others. To stay updated on new engaging and informative materials that will help you better understand health and wellness issues, stay with us. If the information was helpful to you, share it with friends and family. Together we can make health more accessible and understandable for everyone.